going to play the video. Kindly listen. It's about 4 minutes video, and I want you to examine something carefully. It has to do with Mohammed, hijab, and Ali DAWAH. For those based in the UK, right? So, and for those watching, if you know these guys, kindly pay attention. I'm going to show you some problems from what they are saying, right?
They lie in the context of, for example, if one says, I sense that you've got a second wife, can he say, no, I don't?
Yes, you can. You can say that.
You can say that.
Yes, I personally believe this is the Prophet said you can do it.
Oh my God!
White lies?
It doesn't have to be white. It can be black lie.
What?
If someone does this and they get caught, for example, or something happens, or
or she just asks him, where were you last night?
Yeah, but even that you can lie. The man can do it. It's up to the man. No woman can take that right away from the man.
Aside from Islam, I think my integrity, my dignity, my, who I am as a person, I would think it's so disrespectful for my husband to go and marry somebody else secretly. That to me is cheating, okay. Even if it is Islamically correct.
This idea of aside Islam, we're Muslims. There is no aside Islam in this discussion, but I'm speaking to a Muslim. So there is no aside Islam here. The true religion, which I'm now expected as a Muslim man to follow, is not the religion of Islam, it's the religion of women's feelings. I'm not going to do this. So I'm saying now we go back to the book and the Sunnah. You can lie to your spouse. You can lie to your spouse.
Okay, there's this. Let me be real, yeah. If you got a good husband, he comes and he says, "I want a second wife." All hell breaks loose, and then we blame this man. Yeah, but why keeping it secret? What else should he do?
When the Prophet, he kept a secret from some of his wives. Some scholars, I'm not going to go into detail, but some scholars actually connect this with an incident with Maria the Copte. Lying is not allowed except for 3 things. One of them is hadith al-rajul limra'ati, that when a man speaks to his wife.
And I take my selfish needs out of it, i.e. me wanting him all to myself. I need to understand them. So I need to sit down and I need to really think about how this is going to affect him.
But this is a test to see how Allah is testing her, to see how she responds.
Yeah.
That's, if she decides to do the opposite, which is, throw the divorce card or throw this card, then ultimately she's falling into the act of disobedience.
Islamically, there is no problem in a man getting married to another woman in Islam without the first wife's knowledge. There's actually, I've not seen one solitary difference of opinion in any of the 14 generations of Islam. It's not there.
Which is?
Any scholar saying that no, a woman needs to know, she needs to tell her, it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
We're talking about the religion of Islam.
That none of you guys are okay with your husbands getting a second wife. Can I just quickly get that out of the way? Sister Swad?
absolutely not.
You're not okay with listen, sister.
It's a no from me, and if you have anything to say it now.
You're finished. Yeah. Sister Amira?
Yeah, no.
No? Sister Tyra?
And I won't be happy with it.
Sisters are under the impression that there is a man out there that is not polygamous. Because you guys are monogamous by nature, meaning you just want your husband and you're happy with your husband. We are not created like that.
And then he's got the financial thing where he can reduce, he can, if she's being bad, he can take money away from her. This can be seen in this country as abuse. So if she has evidence of that and she's got the state backing, if he tries to impose his masculinity or his Islamic abilities on her, then she can respond in a malicious manner. Which is why I would say that if a woman shows her claws in that way, this is an option of secret, second, whatever you want to call it.
Seriously. What is wrong with these mainstream sectarians who are confused in Islam? This is the guys you think they are representing Islam in reality, for real? These guys? Because they have the numbers, the following, Ali DAWAH, Mohammed Hijab, because they have large numbers of sheep following them. So you think they are guided? Do you think they are scholars of Islam? Seriously, they are clowns. I'm not kidding you. I'm serious. The evidence is there on my YouTube for you to see. Check carefully. I'm going to repeat the video. Now listen to the video again.
Feminist sisters who love their sisters, who will die for their sisters, will take a bullet for their sisters, but will not share their husbands for their sisters.
Look at the stupid statement he made. There are many sisters who died for their sisters, who fight for their sisters, who will take a bullet for their sisters, but they are not willing to share their husbands. with their sisters. Is this guy okay? Look, I'm saying stop wasting your time fighting against the Quran and say you are going to bend the Quran. These people don't follow the Quran. They don't practice the Quran. They only read it like, you know, for singing. They don't practice Quran. Do you know the books they follow? The garbage books. Go and bend those books instead. Instead of wasting your time saying you are going to bend the Quran, why bend a book when people don't study? Why? Leave it on the shelf. Leave it in the library. Don't bend such books. Go for the garbage books, which is giving them this ideologies, this pedophilia, these perversions, this stupid clown type of ideologies. These are the books you should ban. And you waste your time going to ban the Quran. So when I see on the news, on the videos, when I see countries trying to say they are banning the Quran, I'm thinking in my head, what is wrong with this country? Why are you banning the Quran and leaving hadith books? Seriously, why?
You can lie to your spouse.
So Muhammad Hijab says you can lie to your spouse. According to Muhammad Hijab, it seems we don't know the meaning of lie. Right? So let's go and understand the meaning of lie. So he says we can lie to our spouses. Now, Muhammad Hijab says you can lie in Islam, right? He says you can lie in Islam and you can lie to your spouse. He says you can lie. And he's trying to base it under Islam. Listen carefully, under Islam. So what is a lie? A lie is a statement that deviates from or perverts the truth. That is a lie. Muhammad Hijab says you can lie in Islam and you can lie to your spouse. According to who? We are going to examine where he got that ideology from. Let's check.
You can lie to your spouse. You can lie to your spouse.
So Muhammad Hijab says we can lie to our spouse, right? To your spouse. He says Muhammad Hijab. Remember, he's famous, right? He has about 1 million subscribers on YouTube. He said you can lie to your spouse. And this guy says he's representing Islam, right? I don't know which Islam is representing, but we are going to find out.
Can they lie in the context of, for example, if one says, I sense that you've got a second wife, can he say, no, I don't?
Yes, you can. You can say that.
So
What?
he said if your wife says, I sense that you have a second wife, Ali Dawa is asking him, can he say that? No, he doesn't. And Muhammad Hijab says, yes, he can say he doesn't have it. He can lie and say, no, I don't have.
You can say that.
Yes, I personally believe this is.
You see, the ladies are laughing. They find that outrageous, right?
The Prophet said you can do it.
Now, do you see how they attribute lies to the Prophet? Now, these are the enemies of Islam. Wallahi lazim. These people are the enemies of Islam. Look at them very well. These are the enemies of Islam. He says, the Prophet says, you can. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. Oh, I take you to Quran chapter 6, verse 112. It says, and thus have we made enemies for every prophet, devils of humans and jinns, inspiring to each other the decoration of delusive statement. And if your Lord had willed, they would not have done it. So leave them and what they fabricate. 113, chapter 6. So that the minds of those who do not believe in the hereafter will incline to it in order to approve it and to commit what they are committing. These verses I just read to you, Quran chapter 6, verse 112 to 113. This is the picture of the people you are seeing on my videos here, on my screen. They lie using the Prophet's name, right? They are the enemies of the Prophet because God already knows about that and he's telling you about that. So God says, leave such people and what they fabricate. But listen again.
White lies?
It doesn't have to be white. It can be a black lie.
Do you hear? In this modern day, we have something we call white lie. And then Muhammad Hijab say it doesn't have to be white lie. It can be a black lie. Now, for those based in the Western world, you know what we call black job, black market, Black Friday, you mentioned it, black medicine, black magic. Now, the moment the word black is added to anything, that becomes illegal. That becomes a bad thing. Now, the moment the word white is added to something, that becomes somewhat good. So they have something they call white lie, right? So white lie is like, for instance, this mouse is mine, right? And then you ask me, babashuaib, this mouse, is it yours? So in order, if I know your intentions why you are asking me for this mouse, maybe you want to borrow, right? And I don't want to lend you this mouse. I don't want to give it to you. So in order for you to deter that, asking, if you ask me, babashuaib, is this yours? I can say, no, it's for my brother, right? I can say it's my brother. So that's a white lie. The reason why I will say it is for my brother is just because I don't need to get you to request to borrow this. So I have to tell you it's for my brother so that it will deter you away from asking for it. That's what in this modern day we call white lie. But the most absurd part is when Ali Dawah asked him, could it be a white lie? Muhammad Hijab said it doesn't matter. It can be a black lie. Now this is dangerous. Taking your guidance of Islam from this kind of perverts. I'm serious.
The Prophet said you can do it.
He used the Prophet. The Prophet says you can do it. That's what they do. They don't quote any reference. They don't give you tangible sources. It is about opinion. Right? It's about opinion. Now watch.
White lies?
It doesn't have to be white. It can be a black lie.
So it doesn't have to be a white lie. Muhammad Hijab is saying it can be a black lie. Please ask Muhammad Hijab this same question. Where did the Prophet say it can be a black lie? That's a problem again. Does he know the meaning of black lie? Something which is totally illegal. Black lie. Okay.
If someone does this and they get caught, for example, or something happens, or
or she just asks him, where were you last night?
Yeah, but even that, he can lie. The man can...
Damn it. Did you hear what Muhammad Hijab said? Your wife asking you, where were you last night? Even though you married secretly. You have a second wife secretly without your first wife knowing. And now she's asking you, where were you last night? Muhammad Hijab says, even that, the husband can lie. Please, people based in the UK, if you are next to Muhammad Hijab, please be examining him carefully. Because this guy, if you give him your daughter, you are in trouble.
You get it? If you don't get it, forget about
it.
Do it. It's up to the man. No woman can take that right away from the man.
Okay. No woman can take that right away from a man. Where from the right in the first place? Where in the Quran? Do these bozos actually know that the Quran is what we call Al-Furqan? Al-Furqan means the criterion. Do these bozos know that the Quran is where we have the Sharia? Quran chapter 45 verse 18. These bozos know that the Quran is what we call the Hudan guidance, Quran chapter 45 verse 11. Do these bozos know that the Quran is what we call Hukum, Quran chapter 13 verse 37? Do they know?
Aside from Islam, I think my integrity, my dignity, my, who I am as a person, I would think it's so disrespectful for my husband to go and marry somebody else secretly. That to me is cheating.
Of course, definitely. You have to agree with the sister. Seriously. If you are a husband, you need a second wife. Why are you scared to tell your wife? I don't get it. You need a second wife. Tell your wife. Why are you scared? Why are you hiding it and basing it on Islam and saying Islam are where? Where does Islam? Look, in the infinite wisdom of God, when he created Adam, he gave him one wife. He could have given him 10 wives because he was based in the garden. God could have given him 10 women or 20 women. In the infinite wisdom of God, he gave Adam one wife. Have you thought of that? The ignorant Muslims, so-called ignorant Muslims out there, who say, oh, but Quran chapter 4 verse 3 says we can marry 2, 3, 4. No, it's based on a condition. Listen carefully. God was talking to people who possess intelligence. The same God said, he gave you condition that you can never be able to act just. Somebody will say, then why did the prophet marry multiple wives? So that God can prove to you, you can never be just with multiple women. What did you see the wife of the prophet did to him? Quran chapter 66. Read from verse 1, verse 2, verse 3, verse 4, and see what happened between him and his wives. It is something God is proving to you. So he went to Quran chapter 4, verse 129, and told you, you can never be able to act just with women. If you have multiple wives, you can never, ever be able to act just when you have multiple wives. I'm serious. If you tell me somebody has multiple wives based on, let's say the first wife, she's barren, maybe, so having a kid is more important to you, fine, you have to negotiate with the first wife that, oh, since you are barren, I need children, I don't want to divorce you, fine, so allow me to take extra wife so that I can have a child, fine. That is even makes sense to some extent. And again, let's say the first wife doesn't have the needs to please you the way you want. In order to avoid you from going out to cheat, why don't you negotiate with the first wife so that she gives you the chance for other things instead of going behind her secretly? Seriously, what is wrong with these bozos?
Okay, even if it is fine. Islamically correct.
This idea of aside Islam, we're Muslims. There is no aside Islam in this discussion.
So he's telling the woman that there is no aside Islam. If there's no aside Islam, Muhammad hijab, whatever you are saying is not based on Islam. It's not Quranic, and there's no tangible evidence being supported with your argument. I'm serious. You are a liar. And you are painting Islam black. Just like you said it's good for a man to do black lies. Hey, Muhammad hijab. Seriously? And people hold you in high esteem in UK?
I'm speaking to a Muslim. So there is no aside Islam here. The true religion, which I'm now expected as a Muslim man to follow, is not the religion of Islam. It's the religion of woman's feelings. I'm not going to do this. So
do you see his stupidity? So a woman's feelings is trash according to Muhammad hijab. What? So no wonder a lot of people in Islam, in religion, are bozos and foolish. They are just shipu. No common sense, no logic. So far as they say Islam says it, you have to take it. The Prophet said, always. This is how they lie to you. Do you see? Okay.
Saying now we go back to the book and the Sunnah.
Go back to the book and Sunnah. Where do we find the Sunnah? Look at the foolishness of these clowns. Go back to the book, one book. That's the Quran. And the what? And Sunnah. So Sunnah is not a book. Where do we find the Sunnah? Where? In the garbage? The garbage books? You say we should go back to the book and Sunnah. You sitting there, you never quoted any reference to back up your lies. Such a clown. Look at his glasses and his handsome beard. You are lucky you are handsome.
So the point is this, let me be real, yeah? If you got a good husband, he comes and he says, I want a second wife, all hell breaks loose. And then we blame this man. Yeah, but why are you keeping it secret? What else should he do?
Look at the foolish clown again. Ali DAWAH. Does he understand what marriage is about? Look, the reason why divorces happen is if you cannot reconcile your differences. Be honest with your partner. Sit down at the table, discuss issues. If it doesn't work, everybody goes their way, separate ways. That's how marriage is about. That's why divorces happen in marriage. You don't force people to be in a marriage they don't want to be. If a woman says, I don't want you, my husband, to have a second wife with me, simple. It's either you stick to the marriage, or if you don't want, then find your way to go. That's how marriage works. You don't force people to be in marriage. So if a woman says she doesn't want, she doesn't want. Can't you just understand that? If you can, then find a way to say, okay, me, I want second wife. If you want to divorce, let's divorce. Fine. Then the woman at least can know you don't love her in the first place. But why go behind her to hurt her feelings? Do you think women are so dumb and then they will just sit down for you to be cheating around? Seriously.
When the Prophet, he kept a secret from some of his wives.
Look at the foolishness. He is quoting Quran chapter 66, verse 3 to verse 4. That secret the Prophet kept has nothing to do with marriage. It's not as if he went to marry another wife and is hiding the issue. And if it's a secret, why did he tell the other wife? These people, what is wrong with this kind of clowns? Seriously, who is making them famous?
Some scholars, I'm not going to go into detail, but some scholars,
You are not going to go into detail. And that's what a liar always does. A liar doesn't want to go into detail, always. This is how they are, right? A liar, always. When you are asking a liar a question, a liar doesn't want to go into details. This is how they do.
Let's actually connect this with an incident with Maria the Copt. Lying is not allowed except for three things. One of them is hadith al-rajul limra'ati, that when a man speaks to his wife.
And I take my
Muhammad Hijab is confused. What is he talking about? God willing, I get to step foot in the speaker's corner, inshallah.
my selfish needs out of it, i.e. me wanting him all to myself. I need to understand them. So I need to sit down and I need to really think about how this is going to affect him.
This is a test to see how Allah is testing her to see how she.
The foolishness of some women is when they are defending these garbage ideologies. Like the lady on the wearing the brown on the left. You can see that she is determined to defend this stupidity of what Muhammad Hijab and the likes of them are saying, thinking that is part of Islam. And babashuaib is helping you to study your books critically. And you think I am the enemy? Seriously?
Response in that, if she decides to do the opposite, which is throw the divorce card or throw this card, then ultimately she's falling into the act of disobedience.
Thank you.
This act of disobedience to who? Is she foolishly submitting to what the Ali DAWAH and Muhammad Hijab are saying? What they are saying is not based on Islam. It's not Quranic. It's not from the words of God. And you said the woman is disobeying what? What is the woman disobeying? What? Like, seriously? So you fall for this foolishness of these mainstream sectarians when they brainwash you with their garbage books, telling you women have deficiency in logic. That's what it says. I made a lecture before. There's one hadith where they are saying women have deficiency in what? In intelligence. I'm serious. Hey,
Islamically, there is no problem in a man getting married to another woman in Misyar without the first wife's knowledge.
That's stupidity. Where did Islamically you are saying, where does the Quran say that you get married secretly without your first wife knowing? Are you a fool? Doesn't mean you respect your wife? No, you don't. And this is why most of the Middle Eastern countries you see in the world today, they don't respect their women. I'm not saying all of them. I repeat, I'm not saying all of them. Most of them, they don't respect their women because they think their women are just second class. Right? So it's like, who are you for me to tell you that I'm marrying another wife or something? What? Seriously?
There's actually, I've not seen one solitary difference of opinion in any of the 14 generations of Islam.
Look at the foolishness. He's saying 14th generation of Islam, and he's talking about opinion. There are a lot of opinions which are against you, Muhammad Hijab. How can you foolishly sit publicly and say you have not seen in 14 years, whatever, somebody's opinion talking about that? You didn't even quote a proof to back up your claim.
It's not there.
Which is?
Any scholar saying that, no, a woman needs to know, she needs to tell her.
Now, you see? And people take this kind of clowns seriously.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's it.
We're talking about the religion of Islam.
Get out of here.
This is what it infuriates me when this bozo mention religion of Islam. Where do you think we find Islam? In your garbage books? You heard from the video yourselves. The confusion. Muhammad hijab doesn't mention a Quranic verse. And even the garbage books, they don't know the references. Right? So that's what they do. Right? The sectarians, and this is the form of religion they are putting out there. And then it makes other people think we are all like that. I'm serious. So I've taken on the mantle because I started showing you the dark side of the hadith books. They have dark side, and so are those who promote such ideologies. They are the forefront there. You're making them famous, right? Now let's